Hey guys, Andrew Sluder, pastor of Bible Baptist Church here in Asheville, North Carolina. Wanted to come to you with a quick video on the errors in the English Standard Version, or more commonly known as the ESV. Now, as anybody knows, that if you watch my videos, I am a King James Bible man. I believe the King James Bible is the perfect, inerrant, infallible, inspired Word of God, okay? I don't use any other translation unless I am doing something like this, showing you why they're wrong. I know many of you that watch my videos are King James, but if you do not use the King James Bible, why don't you drop it in the comment section what you use? If you use the King James, comment that you use the King James. I'm very interested to see how many of my viewers use something else. So if you use the King James, why don't you comment that you use it? And if you don't use it, comment that you don't use it and what you do use. I'm very interested to hear what you use, all right? Also, give this video a thumbs up. All right, share it. Send it to some of your friends that use other translations because this may be able to help them. Now, we're going to look at the English Standard Version. Now, before we get into any of the errors I'm going to give you, these three errors specifically, it does not matter how you look at the translation process, how, the proper way to translate this word, or did they use the correct word or incorrect word, what manuscripts. Of course, the King James comes from the Textus Receptus line, and the ESV comes from the Alexandrian line, the Vaticanus, Sinaiticus, all that. All that is off the table when talking about these three specific points. We could bring up more, but for the sake of this video, we're just going to talk about these three because these are just clear-cut errors, absolute contradictions found in the ESV, okay? Now, the first one's going to be 2 Samuel 21:19. 2 Samuel 21:19. Who doesn't know the story of David and Goliath? The little shepherd boy named David takes 5 smooth stones, goes down, kills the hero of the Philistines, Goliath the giant, and he gets a great victory, and we all learn it in Sunday school. The little kids sing songs about it. Preachers preach about it. It's a great story, okay? But if you pick up an ESV and you go to 2 Samuel 21:19, what you're going to find in 2 Samuel 21:19 is not the fact that David killed Goliath, but we actually find the ESV says there that Elhanan, the Bethlehemite, kills Goliath. Now, that is an absolute complete contradiction. It's interesting in the parallel passage, many times in 1st and 2nd Samuel, 1st and 2nd Kings, and 1st and 2nd Chronicles, we find the same story just from different perspectives, just like we do with the Gospels. It's interesting in the parallel passage in 1st Chronicles chapter 20 and verse number 5, it actually has it correct. It says that Elhanan killed the brother of Goliath. Now, in the ESV, you're not going to find in 2 Samuel 21:19 that Elhanan killed the brother of Goliath. It's going to say that Elhanan killed Goliath. That's just simply not true. Now, the King James accurately adds the words, the brother of. They're in italics in the King James. The King James gets it right there. What you have is an absolute and clear-cut contradiction in the ESV where you have Elhanan killing Goliath. It just can't be. The King James accurately got it right and added the words, the brother of, because they knew that it would be an error if they said Elhanan killed Goliath. And the ESV contradicts itself in 3 places because in 1 Samuel 17, you've got David killing Goliath. In 1 Chronicles 20, verse 5, you've got Elhanan killing the brother of Goliath. And then you've got 2 Samuel 21:19, where Elhanan kills Goliath. 3 different places that contradict each other. There's no other way to look at it. It's just flat out wrong, okay? The second place is Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. Matthew chapter 5 and verse 22. Matthew 5:22 in the King James Bible talks about being angry with your brother without a cause, okay? Without a cause. Clearly adds those 3 words at the end, angry with your brother without a cause. But the ESV in Matthew 5:22 says this. It says, but I say to you that everyone who is angry with his brother will be liable to judgment. It leaves out the phrase without a cause. Now, if you are any type of Bible student, you know that the Bible clearly says in Psalms that God is angry with the wicked every day. We find that Jesus was angry in the temple when he's flipping over the tables of the money changers. We actually find in the book of Ephesians that God said, "Be ye angry and sin not." What you have here by leaving out that phrase is you have a clear contradiction, first of all, but also a doctrinal problem. Because how can Matthew 5:22 in the ESV say that it's wrong to be angry? It doesn't say without a cause. It just says it's wrong to be. If you're angry with your brother, you're liable to the judgment. We're supposed to be angry. We're supposed to be angry against sin. Be ye angry and sin not. Jesus was angry. God is angry. So when you leave that phrase out, you are creating a bad doctrinal problem. Was it now a sin? Is Jesus liable for the judgment? Is God liable for judgment? Was Paul commanding us to be angry? Is that now being liable for the judgment? The King James accurately puts in without a cause because it's understood that you're supposed to be angry. That's a biblical command even. But if you're angry with your brother without a cause, that's where the sin comes in. So the ESV once again creates a complete contradiction in its translation work, and it just creates not only a contradiction, but a doctrinal problem. Are you going to say Jesus is sinning now? Very big problem there in the ESV. And the last one we'll look at, I've talked about this one in the past, but it's worth bringing up again because it's such a big one. Mark chapter number 1 and verse number 2. Mark chapter number 1 and verse number 2. Let me get it here quickly. Now, in the King James Bible, let me read you the ESV first. Mark chapter 1, verse number 2. It says, "As it is written in Isaiah the prophet, Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way, the voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his paths straight." Now, here's the problem. You ready? It clearly says in the ESV, as it is written in Isaiah the prophet. And then it goes on to quote, "Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way. The voice of one crying in the wilderness, prepare the way of the Lord, make his paths straight." You know what the problem is with that? The first part of that phrase there, "Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way," that's not found anywhere in Isaiah. Nowhere is that found in Isaiah. The second part, "Prepare the way of the Lord, make his path straight," the voice of one crying, that's found in Isaiah. But that first part of verse, or that first part of the phrase there in verse number 2 is not found in Isaiah. It's found in Malachi chapter number 3. Now, the King James Bible, if you read the King James, it clearly says, as is written in the prophets, plural, because the King James translators knew it was not right. And again, we're getting back to the manuscript. We get into all the manuscript evidence and all that kind of stuff, why we believe that the Textus Receptus line is the correct one. Listen, the King James translators accurately translated the word prophets there. And if you're going to say, well, the ESV accurately translated it from the Greek text it was taken from, I would say, great, that's fine. Okay, they accurately translated Isaiah the prophet, but it just goes to show that the manuscript they had was wrong. And so by following those correct manuscripts, we now have a complete contradiction. You cannot find anywhere where, "Behold, I send my messenger before your face, who will prepare your way." You cannot find that in the book of Isaiah anywhere. It is not there. It's in Malachi. So we have a clear-cut, complete contradiction and error in the ESV by ascribing those words to Isaiah. The King James accurately says, as is written in the prophets, because there's two prophets quoted there in verses 2 and 3. Folks, it is very, very clear that the ESV, and we could go into so much more stuff, but the ESV is absolutely riddled with errors. On top of the fact they leave out 16 verses in the New Testament alone, If you go to, for example, if you go to Matthew 18:11 in the ESV, it's not there. It goes right from verse 10 right to verse 12. You cannot find it. We could go on and on and on. But I just showed you 3 clear-cut, no way around it. Try to find as much logic as you can for it. There is none. 3 clear-cut errors, contradictions in the ESV. And folks, this is one of the many reasons why I use a King James Bible, all right? Well, listen, like and share this video. Give it a thumbs up. Leave in the comment section what you use. I hope this video has been a blessing to you. Listen, if you use something else besides the King James Bible, I don't hate you. I'm not mad at you. I want to do these videos to help you, all right? May God bless you is our prayer. Thanks for watching the video. Wanted to tell you about my book that came out just this past December, Divorced But Not Demoted. If you know somebody that's divorced, especially a preacher, or if you are divorced yourself, get this book. You can go on Amazon.com, just search in Andrew Sluder, and it'll come up. We're also going to leave a description, the link in the descriptions, so you can go down there and get that. This is a book about biblical divorce and remarriage. Is divorce always a sin? The answer is no, all right? And is remarriage a sin? The answer is no, and I go through all of that in this book. You can go there. This is a great encouragement to people who've been divorced but not demoted, and you can get that on Amazon. Only $6.50 if you want a paperback copy of it, or you can get it an ebook version of it for $2.99. So go on Amazon.com, and you can get this book. Thank you, and God bless you is my prayer.